equally responsible plans to stay and spend the night after the celebration. That is the case of our friend Peter and his girlfriend Estelle, who had decided to stay over after the party. Peter drank a lot of alcohol through the night and only stopped at the break of dawn, around 6 a.m. He then went to join Estelle, who had been a little more reasonable and had gone to bed in a drunken state at 4 a.m. At around 9 a.m., the intense sun and the heat wake up the two of her prevents them from falling back to sleep. Peter, suffering from a headache and dehydration, helps himself to a tall glass of fresh water and soon starts to feel much better. Thinking that he is able to drive himself home, he suggests this to Estelle and both start packing their belongings. Estelle knows that if Peter says he's feeling better, there is no need to worry. After all, her boyfriend is quite cautious and responsible. On the way home, the unthinkable happens. On a windy country road turn that is very familiar to him, Peter missed the curve. The car, moving at 90 kilometers per hour, drive into the ditch, spin wildly onto itself several times before finally violently hitting a metal post. Stunned and in a state of shock, Peter slowly realized what he has just happened. Turning toward the passenger side, he realized that Estelle is no longer in her seat. Not wearing her seat belt, Estelle was ejected out of the spinning car. Peter, stuck in his car, cannot move and starts to panic. Helpless and frantic, he called out Estelle's names at the top of his lungs. She does not hear him. Estelle is lying on the ground, unconscious, and can respond to Sam's call. Feeble, Peter managed to reach for his cell phone pocket and dial 911. Barely 5 minutes after the accident, the ambulance is the first to arrive on the scene.
The paramedic now arrive on the site, and they're gonna evaluate if everything is fine for her safety, first safety. So the first paramedic gonna go to evaluate the girl, and the other one the car. The little girl is with the monitor. We check his heart and respiration, and there's no more thing to do for her. The injury is too bad, too hard for her. So now she's gonna help his other patient. So she's gonna help his friend. Alors, pour terminer la partie des ambulanciers, les policiers arrivent maintenant et ils vont aller voir qu'est-ce qui se passe exactement à l'intérieur du véhicule.
First thing that police officer will do is they will secure the scene, so that means that they will stop for some other vehicle that passed through into on the road, so they will make sure that everything is okay, and then they will need to go see the paramedic if they need help.
Viennent de demander aux policiers de faire venir les pompiers pour les aider à sortir la victime à l'intérieur du véhicule. Alors les pompiers vont être appelés pour venir en renfort aux paramédics et aux policiers.
The police officer is asking the driver if he's okay, and while he's asking him the question, he's realizing something, that the driver there's an odor, there's an alcoholic breath odor. So he's conjuring of asking question to make sure that he's able to drive, but he's going to realize right now that this driver's he drive while he was impaired. The thing you need to realize is by the time we're doing our work, it takes time, and by this time the driver is still hurt, and we're trying to help him, but we need to come to the scene, so it might take a lot of time.
Okay, first of all, when the firemen are on the scene, an officer is going to come to check everything is, if it's secure for people and secure for his firemen too. He's going to make his size up, how to extricate the victim. During that time, the second truck is going to pull hose, charge, in case of fire. We're going to stabilize the vehicle because that's an important thing, because if we don't stabilize, each time we move the car, the victim inside suffering more in those cases. What we do right now, we take off all the plastic around the door, to make easy for if we want to cut. So now the car is going to be stabilized on the block. What we can see, the vehicle is stuck on the post. Okay, so we cannot extricate the victim by his door. So we're gonna have to take out the door on this side, take the roof off, and extricate the victim.
While the operation is still going on, one of our police officers will take some notes, because we have to do a drawing, a sketch of what happened. So we'll take note about the braking lines on the ground. Maybe we'll take some note about the driver's information, passenger information, to have all together all the information, and after that put this on the report. The other police officer, you might not see him before, but he went to the driver's side and he realized that the driver was more drunk, so he summarily gave his right to a counsel, and his right to keep the silence. So we'll see that later.
Now you can see they take off one door, and they're going to take the windshield down to cut the other post and pull the top of the car. To make secure, we put the blanket on the victim for him in case he receives some part of the windshield. What is very important in those interventions is the communication between all the services. ambulance, police, firemen, we have to be on the same way. So it's very important to have a good communication. Slowly, they take out the victim. After the car is disincarcerated, extricate, the fireman is going to help the ambulance to free the victim.
So now the police officer will ask the paramedic, as I told you before, if the patient can understand what he's going to tell him. So we'll listen to him.
Avec Peter, comme je t'ai dit tantôt, je suis l'agent Yann Boilly de la Sûreté du Québec. Tu m'entends bien, tu me vois? Peter? Oui, ok, je vais te lire tes droits, comme je t'ai dit tantôt. Okay. Vous êtes en état d'arrestation pour avoir conduit un véhicule à moteur en incapacité à freiner, causant la mort. Vous comprenez bien ça? Ok. Vous avez le droit de garder silence. Nous devons vous informer que nous sommes des policiers. Vous n'êtes pas obligé de dire quoi que ce soit, mais vous devez clairement comprendre que si vous désirez parler, tout ce que vous direz pourra être pris par écrit pourra servir de preuve. Est-ce que vous avez bien compris? Oui, ok. Droit à l'assistance d'un avocat. Vous avez le droit d'avoir recours sans délai à l'assistance d'un avocat de votre choix. Sans égard à votre situation financière, vous avez également le droit d'avoir recours immédiatement au conseil préliminaire et gratuit d'un avocat. Service de garde du barreau du Québec au numéro 100 frais 800 ou de l'aide juridique au numéro 100 frais 1866. Avez-vous bien compris? OK. Désirez-vous consulter un avocat de garde ou un autre avocat? Est-ce que tu désires appeler un avocat ou un avocat de garde? Oui? OK. Fait que là, je vais te donner l'ordre de M. Beaupost pour l'échantillon d'haleine.
During this time, after this, he will ask him to follow him to the station, to the police station. But the thing is, he needs to go see the doctor first, obviously. So while he's going to transfer to the hospital, one of the police officers will be with him in the ambulance and will follow them to the hospital to see the doctor. Okay, after his release from the hospital, Peter was brought to the police station. He was asked to take a breath test. He had 160 milligram on 100 milliliter of alcohol in his blood. The consequences will be severe. He will be criminally charged with driving under the influence of alcohol causing death. His driver's license will be suspended for a period of 90 days, and his car will be kept. What's left of his car for a period of 30 days. Human life has no price. Nobody wants a tragedy like that to happen. Nothing will replace the friend, the employee, the client, the victim of a road accident. Driving under the influence of alcohol and speeding is the main cause of accident with deaths on the Quebec road.